The housing market today is a topic for this episode. Are the gears perfectly aligned and shifting without effort in today's real estate market? Or are they grinding and dripping oil all over the pavement? If you're thinking of buying, maybe for the first time, or as a repeat buyer, perhaps you're thinking of selling, then you need to know and have the top 4 Kevin Martini things you need to know about the housing market today. I know what you are saying. Who the heck is Kevin Martini? Well, that's me. Yes, I am not just the host of the Martini Mortgage Podcast, but I'm also the branch manager and senior mortgage strategist of the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage. Now, my mortgage practice is headquartered in the capital of North Carolina, which is Raleigh. However, we help families all over the great state, and the information I share is based on my tenure in the financial services and mortgage arena, and you will find it is pretty much applicable to anyone buying real estate in any city in the U.S. Let's roll the intro and get this episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast shaking.
This is the Martini Mortgage Podcast with Kevin Martini.
To me, everyone has an opinion of the housing market. There are folks that think the sky is falling, and there are people that think the sky is the bluest it has ever been. Now, what do I think about today's housing market? Before I answer this question, I need to point out that real estate is local. What happens in the Triangle, North Carolina may be different than what is happening in Ohio. It may even be different than what's happening in the Triad of North Carolina. Since real estate is not just local, it is hyper-local. If you are considering buying or selling real estate, you need an advocate of an experienced local real estate professional. If you want an introduction to one, just give me a jingle at 919-238-4934. You will find the best of the best pretty much always hang out with each other. Seriously, if you ever want to find a rock star real estate agent to work with, make contact with a local, trusted, experienced mortgage strategist. Also, I must share it, you should always work on your loan first, then find the home. What? To me, going to find a realtor without having your lender first is like a surgeon doing surgery but does not know where to operate. When you deploy the Kevin Martini loan first, home second strategy, you will have price and cost clarity, and you can be a viper in the market and beat out other offers since you can make a same as cash offer with confidence. Okay. Let me get back to the question. In Raleigh, North Carolina, real estate is green and growing. It is not ripe and rotten in my opinion. There was a document that I read from the Federal Housing Finance Agency, and it shared since 1991 in North Carolina, the average cumulative appreciation since 1991 to the date that this recording, it was 142%. In the last 5 years, here in North Carolina, the cumulative appreciation was just under 33%. So, I think right now, the housing market is killer, and I mean killer in a good way. There are 4 things you need to keep on the radar about today's housing market. Number 1, is home prices. Number 2 is interest rates. Number 3 is affordability and availability. And number 4 is that evil R word. You know what I'm talking about. Recession. Right now, home values are appreciated at a more normal level. In fact, they have been going up steadily for about 10 years, and that's a decade. And in my opinion, there is no signs they will stop moving upward. A company called Pulsenomics publishes the Home Price Expectation Survey. It is my opinion, and I believe this is the best sampling of where the market is going because it's not just one source, it's over 100 independent sources, market movers and shakers, and the Home Price Expectation Survey sees growth in home values this year, growth in home values in 2020, growth in home values in 2021, growth in home values in 2022. Well, you get the picture. You know who sees growth in home values too? The Mortgage Bankers Association, the National Association of Realtors, Freddie Mac, and Fannie Mae too. You need to know that interest rates are very low. Let me share a little perspective. Over the last 30 years, the average rate in the U.S. was over 8%. At the time of this recording, based on data from Freddie Mac, the rate is considerably lower than the 30-year average. In fact, it's about 50% less, if not more than 50%. Let me ask you a question. You're in the mall and you see something you need, and it is 50% off the suggested retail price. Do you buy it? Of course you do. We all need a roof over our head, and money is on sale right now. Right now, it is my opinion, it's a great time to lock in your housing costs with a remarkable rate with the Martini Mortgage Group. Okay, where am I? I talked about home prices. That was number 1. I talked about interest rates. That was number 2. Now let me talk about number 3. Homes are affordable and money is available. Since the 80s, rents have risen every year, and many people elect to keep renting because they do not have strong enough credit or they think they don't have enough for down payment. Here is a hashtag Kevin Martini Live talking point. You do not need to have perfect credit, and you do not need to have a big down payment. Let me share a real world situation. The Martini Mortgage Group can help you secure a mortgage with a credit score that starts with a 5. Let me share another real world situation. There are not just low down payment options, there are no down payment options, and there are options for down payment assistance here at the Martini Mortgage Group. I'm not talking about a unicorn, friends. These are real-world programs we offer. In Wake County, Raleigh, North Carolina is in Wake County. There are over 1 million people, and there are over 327,000 renters. Did you know out of the 327,000 people that are renting, over 82,000 can afford to purchase? Perhaps this is so high because the renters believe the myth that they need to put 20% down, or they believe the myth that they have to have a 780 credit score. Listen, if you are renting, you do not need to call me. If you do not, it will be sad. However, you do need to connect with a local, experienced, and trusted mortgage strategist. You cannot afford not to explore your options to lock in the housing because rents have risen steadily since 1981. And I believe there is not a case that rents will go on sale anytime in the future. Finally, number 4, recession. It is going to happen. but it may happen, and we even might not even know it happened because we'll know about it after it happened. The economy is going over the speed limit, and there is a point that we're going to have to throttle down. Imagine that you are in a car going 75 miles an hour and the speed limit is 55, and poof, you see a law enforcement officer and you take your foot off the accelerator or hit the brakes, and you bring your speed to the speed limit of 55. Sure, you're not going as fast as you were, but you are still doing the speed limit, and 55 is pretty fast. That is what I personally believe the next recession will feel like. Now, some of you are listening may remember the Great Recession and believe the word recession means housing crisis, and I get it. But I got a news flash, and it's a fact. Recession does not mean housing crisis. The next recession will not be driven by housing. Again, it's my opinion. We are just going to take our foot off the accelerator for a little coasting. We're still going to be going pretty fast. Let me share a fact with you based on data from CoreLogic. Oh, by the way, CoreLogic is the leading source of data on real estate. In the modern times, since 1980, there were 5 recessions. One of the 5 recessions was the Great Recession, which started in 2008. There was one in 1980, 1981, 1991, 2001, and of course the 2008 Great Recession. 3 out of the last 5 recessions, home values went up. Let me say it again. 3 out of the last 5 recessions, home values went up. If you take the Great Recession out of the equation because it was atypical, that would mean 3 out of the 4 times there was a recession, home values went up. And the one time they went down under 2%. Now, this episode is about the housing market today, not about why home values went up during a recession. Perhaps this is a good idea for a future episode of the Martini Mortgage Podcast. Let me wrap this up. The housing market today is green and growing. Home prices are appreciating. Home loan interest rates are low. Mortgages are available. Homes are affordable. And there's going to be a recession, but a recession does not mean housing crisis. I believe that home ownership is right. Now, just because something is right, it does not mean it's right for you and your family. However, you owe it to yourself and your family to explore your home ownership options. Thank you for tuning in, and please share. If you need or want help, the Martini Mortgage Group at Benchmark Mortgage is ready, able, and willing to help.
The Martini Mortgage Group makes real estate dreams a reality with trusted advice in a stress-free environment with great rates and on-time closings while providing a world-class experience. If you or someone you know has questions about the current mortgage rates or the current mortgage programs, please reach out to the Martini Mortgage Group at 919-238-4934. The information contained in this podcast presentation is for general product information purposes only. Arklatex Financial Services, LLC, NMLS number 2143, doing business as Benchmark Mortgage, makes no representations or warranties of any kind expressed or implied about the completeness, reliability, suitability, or availability with respect to the information, products, or services. All loans subject to borrower qualifying. Other restrictions may apply. Branch Manager Kevin Martini, NMLS number 143962. Branch located at 5650 Six Forks Road, Suite 101, Raleigh, North Carolina, 27609. Contact the branch by calling 919-238-4934. Equal housing opportunity.